not that. I'm trying to get the clear photo. That one right there. Cutting foreign aid. Foreign aid. Foreign aid. Heyo, and welcome to today, where there's a couple things going on. Most importantly, Pierre brings up something that is quite on the tip of the tongue, or on the it brings up a lot of questions. It brings up potential answers. One such answer is where a lot of our money tends to be going in Canada. And we'll dive into that a little bit later on in the video, because in the beginning, I'm gonna just cover up a little kind of thing I just saw that was like, I just saw it and like, man, this is important to make note of in Canada. For instance, which is how patriotic this country has gotten. From the CTV News, it says that Calgary company has seen a spike in Canadian flag sales amid the ongoing trade conflict. This is beautiful that Canada is seeing a resurgence of our pride in Canada, that we are going to arms with this country, we're putting our flags up, we are staking claim, and we are proud. That is a great thing. This has never happened before, and it is so beautiful that it is finally happening in Canada. It's been so oh my goodness. Oh, whoa, sorry. Oh man, I am so proud that this country is finally staking claim to us grabbing our flags and being patriotic about buying Canadian products. You know, like the Canadian flag, made in China. Anywho, I think it is kind of hilarious how they are now preaching the gospel of Canadian patriotism, except they tend to not do that when they disagree. AKA every liberal on planet Earth who is now just doing this all for the sake of being a social justice warrior. They're on the right side of history kind of people, and they're just... It is just a bunch of... I don't know, is hypocrisy the correct word? I don't think so. But, I mean, it is certainly on the tip of the nose of that one. And here we go, we got ourselves a cute little photo from the Pleb Reporter showing us what the average Mark Carney supporter is on... well, I mean, he says on this app, but keep it real, it's on every app, unfortunately. In my opinion, I don't think there's a legit Carney supporter. I don't think they exist. Sorry, when I say I don't think they exist, I don't think anyone with a functioning brain is actively saying that they're voting for Mark Carney. I don't think there's a single person with a functioning brain who is saying that, unless they are gonna make money from him being in power, which... those are the only two options I see. And... you know, you got the big media companies, you got CTV News, you got all those companies are just preaching his name to the choir and saying, oh, there's an 85% of Canadians that would rather him than Pierre Poilievre. And I just don't think those people actually exist. Just a bunch of, not here voters. Where have I heard that statement before? Not here voters. People who are voting, but they're not actually here. Where have I heard that before in politics? Well, anyways, I don't know anything about that. Certainly not. Now, what I wanted to cover in today's video specifically is Pierre Poilievre. He came out with a video, something that I made note of in the last video. He came out with a whole entire video called a part 1 of his Canada First plan, where we take back our true north. And I want to cover that video, just a little bit of snippets, because, can't cover the whole entire thing, but just little tiny snippets I want to just take a look at, go through my thoughts in my brain, and then through this, we'll get to that hot button topic. We'll get to that one and how it encircles around both Pierre and Mark Carney in certain positions of leadership. And it is a lot of questions. I'll say that. Not a lot of questions, a lot of answers, and a lot of potential anger because, of where our Canadian tax dollars are going to.
Canada's last Conservative government started the Arctic Offshore Patrol Ships Project and invested in a new naval facility in Nanisivik, which is due to go online this year. But then the Liberals took office and failed our North and our forces. And Canada still does not have a permanent base in the Arctic, while at the same time Russia has reopened Soviet military bases and expanded its Navy's Northern Fleet over the past few decades.
What I want to talk about here is the potential future for Canada. I think it is, once again, I will state in the last video, it is awesome to hear that we are building our military in Canada. That has so dearly needed to happen for quite a long time already. And now it is happening, and I'm happy about that. I just have a lot of questions as to what is so important about the Arctic all of a sudden. Like, this wasn't an issue for the past how many years, and then now all of a sudden it is just something here. What? Why? I have a lot of questions. And the very big one is, what is going on with the Arctic? That we have Russia, China, America, and Canada all in that area. What is happening here? Am I the only one who's a little bit perplexed, perhaps is the word? I don't know. So it just pings in my brain as something we should be taking note of. Because it is odd how we are closer and closer. We are not only in potential of an arms conflict between Canada and America, but also between Canada and Russia and or China. That is quite the question mark that is here. Just whoop whoop. Just right there. Big old question mark. I'm just putting it there. Anywho, before I continue to talk about that, let us continue on.
We will, 1, double the size of the 1st Patrol Group of the Canadian Rangers from the current 2,000 to 4,000 Rangers. The Canadian Rangers provide self-sufficient mobile forces to support the military. They often report suspicious and unusual activities while providing local knowledge and expertise. 2,
Oh, sorry, I was gonna cut right there and start talking. Yeah, let's look at this real quick, and then I'll get into it.
we will acquire 2 additional polar icebreakers for the Royal Canadian Navy. Liberals have promised 2 heavy Coast Guard icebreakers, but won't say when. My government will deliver those by 2029.
Okay, a big thing is happening. We're getting icebreakers. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Aside from the obvious, which is that they are to break the ice, I'm a bit confused as to why we're breaking the ice. What is the purpose of breaking said ice? I'm just more question marks. I'm a little confused as to why we're breaking the ice. I mean, it's nice that we're getting 2 icebreakers. I think that's the main point. I think that's a good thing. I mean, okay, if Trudeau was promising it, never did it, but then Pierre is promising it, but then is saying it'll happen by 2029. then obviously it was supposed to happen. And so it's not like my opinion is really going to change anything on this. And so I will make note, it is a good thing that we have a leader who will actually give us a date and time for things to happen, rather than just throwing all hope to the wind and just crossing our fingers that things will happen. But he is actually giving us a time frame that we can expect these new 2 icebreaker ships. And on the other front, he is also speaking of doubling our ranger services in the Arctic, and I think that is also good as well. We should have more people protecting this country. Once again, building our military, building our forces. I like that. That is messaging we need to further in Canada. We need a stronger Canada. We have needed this. I don't know why we're doing it now in lieu of America. I wish we were to do it earlier, just point blank period, because we needed it. But hey, late is better than never. And so here we are, finally building our military and getting away from certain stuff that doesn't help our country, which is, in other words, not having a military. That doesn't help our country, and building one does. That's good. Now, let us get into the hot button of this video that I really want to take a quick look at with y'all.
All of these improvements will be funded by dramatically cutting foreign aid, much of which goes to dictators and global bureaucracies.
Okay. We got a bunch of confirmation there. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to beep out some of those words because they're just pinging in my brain as being something that needs to be beeped out. But that photo there, take a quick look at that. All right, there, that photo. Oh, not that. I'm trying to get the clear photo. That one right there. Cutting foreign aid. Foreign aid. Foreign aid. So clearly, we are. I mean, it was obvious already, but we are funding the Economic Forum. How much are we funding them? In that after cutting that funding, we will then be able to afford all of that stuff happening in the Arctic. How much are we giving them? And why does the Liberal leadership have a dude who is right there in that foreign funded group? Why is he the up and coming elected leader of the Liberal Party? Once again, I will state again, hopefully Ruby Dalla will beat him in that election. But to continue on, this is an obvious what is the term? What am I looking for? He's running to lead Canada while he also is a part of the Economic Forum. And yet here we have CTV News and every other large media conglomerate in Canada, the CBC, CTV, you know him, all preaching his name. And now, the other thing that comes to mind is a lot of people are questioning if Pierre is part of the Economic Forum. And is he, by pointing out that he is going to cut foreign aid to them, my question is, how much is he planning on cutting? Is he planning on cutting them entirely? That would be awesome. I don't know what they even do. To be completely frank, I don't know what they do, but we're for some reason funding them. That's just my ignorance, I guess. But, I mean, tell me down in the comments what they do. Because I genuinely have no idea what they do. Other than, lead the country through taxes. crazy, right? You know, the dude who wants to up our taxes is the same dude who works for a company that our country funds through our taxes. What a coinky-dink. Sorry, it just got my brain fired up there. Is Pierre, by showing this, pointing out that he is not part of the Economic Forum and saying that he's going to cut the funding to them? Because if so, that is excellent. That is great news and something that should be talked about more, I feel like. I went through the comments a little bit and I don't really see anyone pointing that out. But I think it is an interesting thing to make note of, in that he is directly attacking Carney here while also defending himself. Potentially. Once again, how much is he planning on cutting from them? That could be a greater question. But yeah, anywho, I think that is where I'm going to leave off today's video. Once again, I'm going to continue to say, I hope Ruby Dalla beats Mark Carney in the Liberal election that is coming up as of March. I hope she does it, because the last thing we need is him to be in leadership for however long he will be in leadership in. I don't care how long he's in leadership for. He cannot lead this country when he has a conflict of... Man, I don't know why. It is on the tip of my tongue, the word I'm looking for. But he has two conflicting ideas, two conflicting parties, and yet he is trying to work on the side that funds his side. Definitely not any question there, right? Not at all. Anywho, that's where I'm gonna leave this off. So, yeah, tell me what y'all think down below. Hit that like button, subscribe button, all the YouTuber type lingo. And anywho, I hope to see you in the next video. But until then, I hope that you have a good one.